the right of the road, just some crumbling buildings. It looks like it used to be maybe a keep of some sort, or like a fortification of some kind. It's maybe 300-400 yards into the forest to your to your right. So it'd be like over here.
Can I roll history to see if I know why it was abandoned in case it's like a monster's nest or something?
Yeah, what it is. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not good with history.
Oh,
+6 of you.
You know that it's made out of stone and it's off to your right.
for a smart guy, I'm kind of a dumbass.
Can I try?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, for some people,
You also know that it's made of stone and off to the right.
Yes, two intellectuals discussing.
Why do Poet and I keep getting the same roll?
However, you can see that there might be some buildings with roofs.
There you go.
Oh, look at that, Orsic. So
Finally.
Orsic knows that in this area, this used to be a really populated area before the War of the Dragon. There was lots of fortifications all over this area because a lot of fighting
What race?
took place. Just the humans, the regular inhabitants of this area, which were like all kinds of different races, but the good guys, if you will. And that they made lots of different fortifications, and a lot of those fortifications have fallen into disrepair and into ruin.
That's our new home.
Is there any way we can fortify the area?
It is nighttime.
Like,
Maybe we could.
We could just
Uh,
use the campsite.
And as a lot of you guys have pretty decent like survival skills, right?
Yep, I do.
yeah.
So poet,
it's okay.
in your travels, you would know that this is like a perfect place for a campground. You could fortify it. There's only so many entrances and exits to this area. However, because it is an
I might
excellent
know that
place,
due to having a night background.
Yeah, you would too. Yes, but also you know that because it is an excellent place to set up a camp. It's an excellent place to set
A
up
lot
a
of people
camp.
do.
It's a perfect place for other things.
Yes.
Yes, there
I
could be
don't-
other things there.
We could run the bandits or whatever else.
I don't think we should stay here. I think we should just set up camp and take watches.
I say we go and
I
take
think we
I-
should continue going.
I kind of want to see what's here.
I'm just saying, if goblins pop out, I called it.
How about we vote?
Yeah,
I'm down for a vote.
America. I mean, Aledonia. Where
So let's for a vote, let's put it in the roll 20, and whoever says yes, put a 1. Whoever says no, put a 2. Make sense?
Okay, yeah, that.
A
yeah,
yes
let's
or two
do
for
that.
what? What does 1 mean and what does
God
2 mean?
damn it.
One is
One's
yes,
yes,
2
two
is
no.
no.
For what though? Like, are we?
Yes,
is
To
the-
to go to the ruins to camp.
So
Sorry,
the
Poet,
question
I
is, are
gotta
we
know.
staying? So if we're
Yeah,
1 is yes,
You and Laura.
no.
What?
yeah,
Honey, you want to stay?
Yes.
yes.
I'm tired.
We're tired. Even if we gotta fight a few goblins to make it fortified, that's fine.
Maybe dangerous though. It'll draw attention.
1 is yes, 2 is no.
Yes, sir.
Ugna.
Ugna, what is your vote? He gets a vote. He has a voice.
Yeah, but
Yes.
you guys still outvoted.
yeah, that's still
Well, we
true.
got-
I'm gonna vote 1.
So Ugna's just like, I'm sorry, friend Tuli, but I'm tired. I've been walking on stilts for a long time and my legs are tired.
That's true.
I'll carry you. I will carry you.
I mean,
Oh,
since
you'll
I
carry
require-
me?
Agna, you can ride Fang.
Whatever. It'll be fine. We'll just take watches. Let's go.
I'm about to say, since I require sleep, once I've done my trance, I can just stay up and do watch for the rest of the night for you guys.
Ah,
Even when you're
Yeah.
trancing, you can technically be on like a passive watch. just not. an
No,
active
my
one.
team did that one time and it
So-
went very poorly.
So Ugna does change his votes because he wants Thule to carry him, but he's
I
still.
think we're still outvoted. I
Okay,
guess we're staying.
so you guys are gonna head over to the ruins.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and
Alright.
I'm gonna be definitely keeping being on like my toes about like what I sense or see. So perception, and also my Fang will be helping me.
How do I make
Oh wait, I gotta.
How do I make?
I'll roll one more time.
Do you know how to make rolls where you guys can't see them?
No, I don't remember.
But I was
I
at the
yeah, you
beginning.
gotta like whisper it to the DM.
Yeah, I want to roll for myself so that you guys can't see it, but I just rolled it. Okay.
You trip-
Yeah, the only way to really do that is like have a side program like on your phone or something.
Yeah.
Or you could go.
Or
just do
or
what I do and have
Josh.
that D20
Yeah.
next-
yeah,
roll
just
the
have
20
it
and
a 20-sided dice right beside you, so you can just pick it up and drop it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do in the future. I'll have a and the beauty of having
Yeah.
the beauty of having a D20 in my hand so that I can just roll it and you guys can go, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally have a sleeve of D20s like right next to me, so if you need.
I normally
can.
have dice, but
Same.
they're all put up right now. So,
They're galaxy colors.
anyways, so you guys start to head off into the forest towards the ruins, and it takes you guys about a good 10-15 minutes to walk up to the ruins. And as you guys get up to the ruins, it's a pretty dilapidated ruin. It was very clearly it used to be a keep, and you can see that around it used to have a stone wall around it. You believe that it probably used to be like used as like a watchtower to watch the bridge. And the tower is collapsed, and probably only about 1 or 2 floors are remaining of the tower. And as you walk up towards it, everyone roll a perception check.
I was about to ask, can I check for any like signs of monster activity?
Yes, that's what the perception check's gonna do.
Oh wait. Well, can I do a nature check for that, or should I just stick with?
Yeah, if
Well,
you'd
I
like. If you'd like.
The only reason I said that was because I was thinking about doing that to see if there was like any kind of common monsters that would patrol these areas.
Yeah, for sure. You can roll a nature check. Okay.
Smelling goblins.
So, Thule, as you're walking up to up towards the ruins, you start to smell smoke, and Orsic, you can tell that there's been people in the area. There's footsteps and things like that. You can't tell like who or what they were, but it was definitely people have used this area a lot of times. There's lots of different footsteps.
Can I use Mask of the Wild and Orsic and I scout ahead to
Yep, if you'd like to do that. Well, Orsic doesn't really need any help becoming invisible, so.
Orsic, would you like backup just in case?
Yes.
Okay, so what are you guys gonna do?
I'll use Mask of the Wild and follow Orsic's lead to see if there's anyone ahead. I quietly wave to everybody to keep their voices down just in case there's bandits or something, so we
It's
can
gonna take us
scout
a
the area.
while.
If you,
It takes me a lot of concentration to be stealth.
Okay.
So
If
I'll
you
have to
guys-
go
if-
with-
If you guys stealth and do, because of your cloak.
if I'm invisible,
Oh, yeah.
I have to walk a lot slower
He moves at a 1/4 his normal speed.
because it takes a lot of concentration.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you got a good stealth, don't you?
Oh yeah, in general, I do.
I have
Yeah.
Mask of the Wild, which will help me blend into and move quietly.
Yeah. So maybe count on your regular stealth until you get closer, and then if you feel a need to use your cloak, then use your cloak.
So I'm gonna roll stealth.
Okay.
then.
So
That's
do
it.
I roll stealth as well, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you get advantage
Does
on it,
get
I think.
advantage because of the Mask of the Wild.
Yes, correct.
So roll.
Oh. Okay, advantage.
Or-
And then... Of course.
You got a 17, that's fine.
Yeah.
So both,
17 or 9.
so both of you guys sneak up to the ruins, and you sneak in, and you can see when you get in a little bit closer that the doorway is kind of like collapsed, and
Empty.
it's
Oh,
like
no.
you can enter because it's collapsed, but you can see that there's a small campfire, and as you sneak up to the door, do you want to sneak up to the door?
Yes.
I'm gonna stand back a little bit since I can't turn invisible.
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
not gonna.
I'm gonna draw
What-
my dagger just in case.
Can I investigate to make sure there's no traps at the door?
Yes. Okay, so as you sneak up to the door, you can tell that there's no traps in the area.
But yeah, I go up.
And as
I'm gonna be holding my shield and my sword, and I'll have Fang ready to like charge and pounce.
absolutely.
I'm gonna stay back a little bit because I can't turn invisible, but I'm gonna draw my dagger and get ready in case Orsic
Wait.
needs backup.
Are you with us?
Yeah, I snuck with
Yeah,
you.
he
No,
snuck.
Varric.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you come with him, Varric?
No. I'm standing
Oh.
back like with the group.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
just preparing
Okay.
myself. You never know.
So
I'm just preparing to back up Orsic if someone jumps his ass.
okay, so
Yeah.
all right, let me explain what you see when you walk up there, Orsic.
I don't know how far ahead of me they are, but I mean my cat can move like 40 feet. So
Yeah, you guys are within
yeah.
range that you could do something if necessary. Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on.
Fuck. Pardon my French. Okay.
Hey, I didn't know
I just-
We're all French here.
You know, I actually I learned why the French say "pardon my French."
Maybe-
It used to be back when the English and the French first started coming to Canada, and the French would start speaking a lot of French around the English,
uh-huh.
and then they would stop and say, "Sorry, pardon my French." It wasn't because they swore; it's because they were speaking French in front of a bunch of white English people.
Oh.
That's pretty interesting. All right,
Yeah.
let me describe this goddamn thing so you guys know what you're looking at. All right. So as you kind of glance into the open door, you see a small campfire, and arrayed around the campfire are 4 sleeping rolls with figures cuddled up in their sleeping bags, and sitting up on the ruined kind of what would I guess be the second floor, looking out and tell me if you can see my little arrow. Out into this direction.
Yeah, I could see.
Okay. Yeah. Out to the east.
Yeah, towards the river. There is
Yep.
kind of like this way, like out towards the forest,
okay,
kind of
okay,
like
Yeah.
there's an elven woman with her back to you, just kind of glaring out into the forest. She's clearly keeping watch. But they look like they have weapons like swords, but they're not like heavily armored, and you can tell that there's packs next to each of the 4 sleeping bags, and
No,
the woman
wait.
on the second floor has a bow slung over her shoulder, but they look like just some travelers that have been traveling.
So then I'm gonna decide to.
Is there
back out.
is there a chance I might know them?
I mean, there's a
Yeah. They look like bandits, or
no, they do not.
well,
look like
yeah. I
bandits.
can't ask.
They look
It's
like travelers.
yeah.
Let's go talk
It's
them,
up
please.
to.
I'm gonna back up and then.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
heading back towards
Perhaps we should
an all
greet
motion.
them.
You know what?
Yeah.
Orsic, roll me an
Yeah. I think we should greet them.
Oh,
roll me an insight
Yeah,
check.
I wanna-
If we greet them, let me do it since I can do it in Elvish. It might put
Okay.
them more at ease.
Well, have
Who
Rick
said
do
that?
Well, he was here.
Was
too,
that Soma?
Alar.
No.
Can I come?
No.
Just
Yeah,
with
Ayla.
common sense, you know they're not bandits, but you don't know anything else about them.
Okay, then I'm still gonna go back towards the group so I can tell them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the group moving forward to
Nope.
kind of
You guys sneak back to the group, and you guys meet up with them.
No.
And Orsic, what do you tell the group?
All right, I got there and I was able to look in through a door, and it looks like how many people were in the? Or
5 total.
Sleeping.
4 sleeping, 1
I
keeping
think
watch.
4.
There were 4
Yeah.
people asleep, and then there was one on watch, looking out in the opposite direction of us, roughly. And it was an elfish woman. They don't look like a threat, though they might be startled if we just walked up.
Yeah, I mean, we got Poet and
Well,
A giant
I
tiger.
think
Giant Tiger.
I can hail them by using thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy?
yeah, no, because
Don't
if we
even-
try to do something that like makes them look our way and draw them out, that's suspicious.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think-
bad idea.
I think a couple of us should just approach in a normal manner,
Wait,
and
I
then
What kind of elves
a
are
cou-
they?
I got proof that I'm in the military, so I'll definitely be on the approaching party.
That makes
Yeah, I was thinking
Keep
almost.
us out of the-
higher charisma. Who is with
Excuse me.
I have
Also
20
someone with
charisma.
authority.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Soma, and then like Poet and maybe Thule.
Oh, a big.
I'll
giant
just
lizard
like
lady.
I'll wrap my blanket around myself to hide like my joints, so I don't.
Maybe.
Okay, well then,
Let's
well
not
then I-
scare them all.
I could leave Fang behind, and then me, Poet, and Soma could do the approach, and then have a few people behind in
We'll do the
case there's
envoy.
an attack. And then if things go bad, then you guys can rush in for a surprise round, and if not, then
I agree.
hopefully
What
things
kind
go
of-
good.
What kind of elves are they?
Don't know. Just an elf.
Maybe you could roll a history to see if your mind will remember, if you could tell if it was a dark elf or not.
Let me think about in the recesses of my mind if I can. Yeah, I think I know.
It wasn't a dark elf.
It wasn't.
Were they wood elves like me?
That's good to know.
Were they wood elves like me?
He couldn't see her face or any of her facial
was dark.
features. It was
And her-
Yeah,
it was a
you could tell it wasn't a drow.
it was
Well,
a
they-
youngish looking elf with blonde hair.
Well, if she was on, they might be a bit startled if a big group approaches them. We need to do something. To
No,
get them out.
No, that's why I said
That's why we're
Poet,
going on
me, and
cemetery.
yeah, that's why I said me, Poet, and Soma go.
Okay, so this is what.
So Varric, Poet, and Soma, we walk up and we do the approach. You guys stay back, but be ready to attack in case stuff goes sideways.
Okay, so
Yeah.
here's what I just heard is going to happen. All right, Soma, Varric, and Poet are going to walk up. Now, as you guys walk up, are you guys going
Yes.
to call out before you get there? Are you going to just walk through the door? Are you going to make noise so they hear you as you're walking up? What are you going to do?
I think we
singing a song.
There is a door, so just knock on the door.
No, it's a
Yeah,
crumbled,
I think we
collapsed
should just
door.
approach casually.
Oh, it's a collapse door. It's gonna be like just knock on the door.
You guys,
I think we should approach like we're looking for a refuge, like casually.
Yeah.
Not like we're doing
let's just
anything weird.
knock on the door frame.
And then
Yeah, no, I
Like,
agree. Approach.
knock.
Yeah,
Okay,
like someone
Approach
said.
casually.
Approach like we're looking for somewhere to rest, and this seemed like a good place, like because that's literally what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and execute this plan. All right, so
Yeah.
you guys walk up to the door. You guys aren't trying to hide sounds or anything
Nope.
like that. So
Nah.
Yep.
you guys hold on.
Walking up, I'm looking around. Like, okay, cool, this is good.
Okay, so as you guys walk up to the door, and you step into the light of the campfire as you step up to the open door, you see the elf standing with bow in hand. She's standing looking at the door. She has an arrow in her bow,
Notched.
notched,
Yeah.
but it's not drawn. And you hear her say, "Who goes there?"
I'll put my hands up and I'm like, my name is Varric. I've traveled a far away, and we were looking for somewhere to camp out.
And she
Don't
says,
move on Night Realm.
and she says, "Okay, step one into the light one at a time, one at a
Hmm.
time."
Okay.
Going.
So no, I'll step forward first because I'm the first that speaked.
Yes.
And I'll step forward and I'm like, hey, I was the first that speaks, and I have two of my comrades right here.
And she says, "Okay, step to the side. Don't move. Who's next?"
Okay.
Me.
Okay.
Hi.
And you step in, and she's like, "Who are you?"
My name's Poet.
And she says, I'm Catherine.
Nice to meet you.
What do you want?"
We're looking for somewhere to stay, but it looks like you guys had the same idea.
You're right.
as
Why are you here?
We came to see
For
if
this-
we could kind of coexist, you know?
Yes, we're looking for somewhere safe to stay, and this seemed like a good place to protect ourselves.
As you guys are saying that, she yells, "Wake up! Wake up!" And the other four stir, and when they see you, they all like grab their weapons and kind of like are holding them, like looking at you guys. And she says, they say they're here to
Selecting casual.
they say they're here
Yeah.
to find refuge like us. And all of them, like, you can see that the four other people, one of them is a human male. He looks to be in his early 20s. He's got like a scruffy beard, brown hair, and like he looks like he's really young, and kind of like immature. You could just, you know how you can kind of tell with some dudes that they're not all the way grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Did
guy
they do
just
that?
looks really kind of immature. Another of them is like an older woman, a human woman, and she's maybe in her like late 40s, and she's got her hair tied up in a bun, and she's kind of wrinkled, and she looks kind of like travel worn. And then the other
Okay.
one is kind of like another human male, and he looks like he's in his like late 40s, and he's got blonde hair, and he kind of looks a little travel worn as well. And they just
I'm gonna
kinda-
roll a perception. I want to see if they look related.
Okay, so you can tell that
Uh,
you can just tell from like the way that they behave. Like the man is kind of like guarding the woman, so that's clearly like her husband, and the younger kid
Yep.
is like clearly like their son. But you can't really tell where the elf fits in to this
Okay.
little group.
Nope, that's fine.
a
and-
question.
Okay, sorry, keep
for
going.
lore. What is the name of like the knights that Tane like runs? Are they just called the Dragon Knights, or like what's the actual?
They're
name of the order?
called the Knights of the Order.
Knights of the Order.
Yeah, and it's
Don't
'cause-
show that yet. They might not like them.
If they're
Yeah.
refugees, that might be a problem for them.
Yeah.
and
Yep.
so
No, that's
she
fine.
she says, "What do you want to do?" And the man says, "Well, let's hear them out." And he puts his sword down and he puts his hands up and he's like, "Everyone, let's just calm down. You guys stay over there. We'll
Calm
stay
down.
over there, over here, and let's
actually
have
put
a
my, like,
conversation."
Because I
So,
have a spear, I put it down. Like I just like put it aside.
Yeah.
Like literally. lean
Yeah,
it
like
against the
my-
wall, like,
my
I'm
shield and
not even,
my-
like-
My axe is on my back. Like I said, I didn't touch him. I put my hands
Oh.
up and just So
Hmm.
I would just let him know, like, we are travelers. We're traveling a far way. We're going to the to Cambriska, and we just are looking for a good place to camp. You guys look like you're on an adventure yourself.
It's like, yes, our traveling. This is the man speaking. He says, "Yeah, we were with a larger group. They met some traveling performer, and we didn't want to stay, so we went off ahead. We haven't seen him since."
We ran into a performer. Was it like a puppet show?
I don't know. He looked creepy.
Your friends may show up eventually.
The
He
stupid,
was creepy.
the little guy in the jester costume creeped me out, so we got out of there.
If they don't offer
Yeah.
money, you might never see them again.
Yeah, we ended up having the same issue, and we ended up paying about 20 gold pieces, and they finally left us alone, and that's how we found here.
And the
So I hope your mates didn't get lost.
the woman kind of chuckles and looks at the kid, and says, "I told you. That's what did I say?" And the kid's like, "Yeah, ma," and kind of like backs up towards them and like kind of leans against the wall. And the man's like, "Okay, well, yeah, I obviously you guys don't seem like you guys are gonna hurt us or anything. Is it just the three of you?"
I have to be honest with you that I didn't tell you the truth. I got some comrades that are in the forest in case some things went bad. We had to make sure that we were all safe. If you understand.
As you say this, the elf kind of like starts to look out into the forest to see if she can see all of you, and
I'm trying to do a handstand.
and as she looks out into the forest, she sees like a dude kind of like fall over trying to do a handstand, and no, I'm just kidding. She can't really see any of you guys, and she says, "Where are they? Bring them up here."
I will definitely agree. I'll call them in one by one.
Okay, the other two.
First,
wait. The other two, you stay
I'll
here.
start with
the.
Yeah, we won't move.
And,
We will
Yeah,
not
just sit
move.
down.
And then I'll
No worries,
the feller
friend.
that was doing a handstand. What was that, Alar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be like, Alar, come this way.
Okay, so do you guys walk up?
I'm
And walk slowly. Don't have your arms drawn.
I have 2 arms.
Well, you know what I mean.
Okay, so you guys, as you start to walk up, the woman says, "One at a time." And who comes in first?
Yeah, that's why I said Alar. I'll call him one by one.
Yeah.
Alar.
So Alar, you walk in, and she says, I should have wrote her name down. Did I say it was Catherine? I think that's what I said.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Catherine.
it's Catherine.
All right, hold on. Let me just write some notes so I remember
Same.
this. Okay. Okay, so I'm Catherine. What's your name?
I'm Alar Darksbane. I'd obviously like to greet her in Elvish since she's one of my kind to kind of put her more at ease.
She kind of like as she hears the Elvish language, so her demeanor doesn't change. She's still very much on guard, but you kind of see the corner of her mouth kind of twitch up, and she says, "Oh," and she says, "Pleasure to meet you" in Elvish as well.
Now that I can see her, can I identify what kind of elf she is?
She's a wood elf.
Okay, then I would like to give one of the classic greetings from our home. Then just something to let her know that we're kind of on the same page, and then quietly go stand by my friend so that she sees I'm no threat.
Okay, and the same thing. You see that she's trying to smile, but she's trying not to smile because she's supposed to be kind of like stern and stuff like that. But you can tell she's excited that another elf is seeing you.
So then I'll look up and I'll be like, if you're happy, Orsic, please come forward.
And then I'll step forward.
And Orsic kind of steps into the light, and when she looks at you, like she's got like kind of a confused look on her face. But she says, "My name's Catherine. What's yours?"
Orsic. My name's Orsic.
Where are you
Orsic
from?
Braw. I am from Aladun.
And she kind of nods quickly, and she kind of like motions for you to step to the side. And okay, the last one, bring him in here.
Well, I got Thule. Thule, if you want to come in, bring Ugna with you.
I've got Ugna.
How do you have Ugna?
I'm carrying. I'm carrying him on my back.
Okay.
So in your bag or something.
No, well, okay. What had happened? I didn't get a chance to say it. I'll say it now. Whenever they started pulling in, Orsic and Alar, I told him to. Well, at least I hope it's okay. To here, climb on my back, get behind me, and we're gonna go meet some new people, and I'll keep them safe.
Oh yeah,
So-
Ugna is very
Oh,
afraid of
man.
being murdered
Nice
by
old Austin Martin. Oh,
by people. So Ugna would have no issue whatsoever with doing that. He's kind of scared of people anyways.
Yeah.
So
He's kind of like standing on my